soon.
Let me be first.
Let me check though if we're live.
We are.
Yep, yes we are. Cool. Alright guys, let me just share this in our Discord and quote this as well.
The legend is here. G4.
Is he there?
Yep.
Dude, he's been waiting so long for this though. But so yeah, Danilo, in case you didn't know, we're gonna be creating something for one of our community members called G4.
Cool.
If you check the live stream on X, he's right there. He's repping the little Plooshies. But we've been doing this live stream for so long, right? Like since last year. I don't even know how many we've done this. We try to do it on a weekly basis. Sometimes we just don't do it because we have other stuff to do. But yeah, this guy G4, he's been waiting for so long. Like I can almost guarantee that he's joining our sessions like ever since we started the first one, right? Like I can tell you, I don't know, like 7, 8, maybe 9 months ago. I don't even know, maybe more than that. Because yeah, it's September now, and we started this last year, so yeah, more than that. And we try to do like, you know, at the end of the session, like, you know, spin the wheel. So we just add your name and we kind of plushify. Let's say, for instance, right, G4, who's repping a little Plooshy, Cole can create a scene with his Plooshies, or maybe he just wants to have his Plooshie with some of the little Plooshies traits. But yeah,
that's super
without
cool.
further ado, yeah, look, we can do. I mean, I know that you're repping Rect, right? Like Red Guy. Maybe if you ever choose to get a Plooshie, and if you win one of these spin the wheel raffles, maybe we can. I always say we, right? But it's always gonna be Cole cooking this stuff.
It's a really cool benefit for holders.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, I mean, something that we know, obviously, I mean, I would love to see a lot of people repping the Plooshies PFP or maybe a banner or whatever, but sometimes we do need to understand that these people have joined us from other communities, and they've been in those communities longer than they've been with the Plooshies. But they also show love for the Plooshies, right? So one of the things we really wanted to bring to the community, and shout out to Cole because he came with this idea, right? He was like, maybe we should do something for our holders, right? Maybe we can plushify their existing PFPs, and this is something that we've done for quite some time, and yeah, it's very, very exciting. And yeah, I can see people in the comments. For instance, Viney, I was telling you, right? Like he was last week with us, and now we have our special guest, Danilo from The Miracle. In case you guys don't know who this guy is, we've been in chat, in DMs for quite some time. If you remember, guys, there was a time that we were doing a lot of spaces with the Unfungible team, and Danilo, every now and then he used to be part of those convos. And then after that, it's something that, you know, kind of have to, do it, jump in DMs and see if there's something that we can do together. And we jump on a call with him and his partner, and we figured that it could be really cool for the Plooshies and the Miracle to do something together. So maybe if you want to take it from here, explain us a little bit about maybe who you are, how long you've been in the space, what's the Miracle, why did you choose to build something like the Miracle for other existing communities, right?
Absolutely,
To it, bro.
Thank you, Bogan. I'm really happy to be here, and hi to everyone who is tuning in here. So about myself, my name is Danilo. I'm a co-founder and CEO at The Miracle, and I'm in the space for quite some time. Started the I would say like most common way, discovering some coins back in 2017. Tried to make some money, failed miserably. With I think like the first coin I bought was XRP. I think a lot of people can relate to that in 2017, and then like really went down the rabbit hole in 2021, and first time bought NFTs on Vivi. That's like a digital collectible platform, and instantly realized that the beauty of NFTs is that you can combine so many things when it comes to like community, identity, collectability, but also programmability. So when I saw first use cases about loyalty and rewards, it got me instantly excited, and it was also in a time when many people missed out on a lot of things because the space was so fragmented and still is, with information that gets distributed on Twitter and on Discord and other platforms. So that was like the motivation with the Miracle to fix that, to build something where holders can easily discover, track, and claim all the benefits which comes with NFTs, like airdrops, access to merchandise. We identified like more than 50 different categories, of course, a lot of IRL stuff, and released in February this year the platform, which supports like more than 500 collections, including the Plooshies, where holders can add their wallets across multiple chains, and they can instantly see what they can claim, how they can claim it, where they can claim it, and until when they have time. So that's like in a nutshell about the product and why we're building this. Like, what's the big vision behind it? We strongly believe that NFTs are the most exciting technology since, in my opinion, even since the iPhone, because of why I really believe it can disrupt a lot of ways how like people and companies, brands and communities are creating and sharing value. So we want to build the largest ecosystem, open ecosystem for benefits and rewards, where every individual and every brand, every community, every game can create and share value with each other. That's why we're building the Miracle.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's pretty interesting though, because I mean, yes, like you mentioned, right? We've been in the space for quite some time. Perhaps we enter the space with, via DeFi, buying coins. Myself, I started with Dogecoin, right? A very long time ago. It ended up being a very profitable trade. Didn't even know what I was doing, but then I got caught into it. Then I got into NFTs and stuff. But yeah, you're right. Like, I think we're part of so many communities, and we can get lost, right? Because sometimes we don't really know what they're doing. It's a little bit of a hassle knowing like, okay, I need to catch up with whatever they've been posting, whether that be on X, Telegram, or mainly Discord, right? So you need to kind of catch up with all of that stuff. But when these projects start to bring, other sorts of utilities to their community holders, to their holders, I guess a space in a website like The Miracle, I think it's like the perfect sweet spot, because you can see a bunch of these projects, right? Like, and perhaps you don't even know, or you're not even part of those communities, but then you see what they're bringing to their holders or to their community, and then you're like, oh, this is pretty dope. I might be interested in these sort of things. So yeah, maybe putting all of them together and see like, yeah, this is what they're offering at the moment. Updating every now and then if they have something new. Like for instance, ourselves, you know, announcing that we're going to be building an abstract that Plooshy Island will be coming relatively soon, Q4. Same with our upcoming token Cuddle, and so many other things that we will be bringing to the market. Yeah, we can refer people now to a website and a project like yours called The Miracle. And yeah, ever since like we had our first combo and in DMs, and when you were talking about this in other spaces, I was like, yeah, this is really cool. This is pretty dope. It facilitates people to like just go to this website and see so many projects, and it's really really cool that it doesn't really matter like if you're a very big important project or someone or an upcoming project, you still have a chance to be part of that website, be part of your project and your vision. So yeah, kudos to you guys. I think it's pretty dope. Perhaps you can tell people like what's the name of the website, your Twitter
Yeah.
handle, same Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, so people can get up to speed, bro.
Yeah, of course. You can get easily started by going on themiracle.io. So if you want to have an easy access, you can go on my Twitter profile. The handle is Danny, and then Cerullo, my last name, Cerullo. And once you open the Miracle and you want to check out what you can actually claim or what you missed, you can easily create an account by adding your wallets. So you can create an account through socials. We support Farcaster, Twitter, email. You can also straight connect with your wallet. Then you can choose categories you're interested in. So that will help us in future to create a more customized feed for you with things you might be interested in, from IRL events to merchandise, sports, lifestyle, fashion, gaming. We cover basically everything. And then as a last step, you add the wallets. So you can add your Ethereum wallet, you can add wallets on layer 2. And also we support Solana and ordinals. We're actually adding a lot of projects on Solana and Bitcoin. And then once this is done, on home, you see instantly what you can claim, like the like 5 or 6 next benefits based on the NFT in your wallets. So if I check right now, home, I can see that there are like some stuff on CyberKongs to claim, like a hoodie, and yeah, it should easily point you in the direction what you can claim without missing out. So it makes your life easier. It helps you as a holder to spend time within the community and engage with the people and not searching for information on what you can claim and when you can claim it and so on. And this is what we are solving for the holders. And yeah, as you said, Bogan, if you're interested in other projects, you can go on Discover. And on Discover, you find everything like from discounts to lifestyle, airdrops, mints, rewards, whitelists. And the concept is like this. We display the benefit or the reward or the experience. And we don't put like the technical stuff or price stuff in the spotlight, but actually just what you get as a holder. And then when you're interested in and you want to check out all the benefits under this collection, you can just simply open it, and then you see everything on one page, what is general. And general means it's not time sensitive, so holders can claim it at their convenience. And on the other hand, temporary, where you find everything which comes with an expiration date. So that should help you to guide and have the overview about what you can claim, and also showcase on the page what expired. So it gives you an overview what was shipped in the past for that community. And yeah, just a lot of things which are happening now behind the scenes. We want to add links to marketplaces. So what you can do right now is join a community. If you see, okay, that's really cool, I really love what is available for the holders. You can't buy it right now, so we will add links to marketplaces.
Nice.
and just adding more and more projects and making the ecosystem bigger. And yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know if you, yeah, sorry.
No, no, no.
Go ahead.
I think that's it pretty sums it up the way that I expected you to explain the miracle. And I really hope, like, if you guys are here watching this live stream, other than obviously, paying attention to what this fucking goat call is creating as per usual,
Super cool.
pay attention to what Danilo is building, right, with his team. I think it's pretty cool. Such an interesting idea. And yeah, we're just very happy that you guys chose to bring the Plooshies to your website. Because obviously, for the past few weeks and the upcoming weeks and months and years, there's so many things coming for the Plooshies and so many other collections that you guys have chosen to onboard to your website. So I think that's pretty cool. And on the side note, like once you said that, yeah, my name Danilo Cirulo, I didn't even know that's how you pronounce it, Cirulo. Because when I was trying to quote the Plooshies, because we're live streaming from the Plooshies account, that I was trying to quote post from my account, I couldn't find you, right? I thought it was just Danilo something, right? And then I was like, oh no, yeah, right, Danilo Cirulo, yes, you're right. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. And how many projects do you get to onboard on a weekly basis? Or I'm assuming you jump in DMs with some of these guys,
Yeah.
or do they approach you now that like the project and website is kind of like growing, going on the right track,
Yeah, it's kind of both. It's kind of both. We added a form to get listed, so it makes our life a bit easier. But until now, it was mainly through DMs, through the network. People approached us. We reached out to projects, and still do. And I think we can push and promote that a bit more. We were a bit silent on that because what I realized is that once we talk to project like the Plooshies and we explain how the miracle works and how we can solve a problem for your community, and also like showcasing what's in it, in a different way, the projects always get very excited and want to get added to the platform. So that's positive, but we have to find a more efficient way to get projects onboarded. So I hope with the new get listed form, it will get better. But I would say, like, right now, like 4 to 5 projects maybe per week. We try to onboard, and yeah, as I said, we have 510 collections, a little bit more, who are supported through the miracle, all the major ones on ETH, and now getting started also to add more on other chains.
Yeah, I think that's such a cool thing to do. Like, you guys are kind of chain agnostic, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you're on ETH, you can be on Solana, you can be on Bitcoin ordinals, other L2s as well. And I think that it's a really good idea to just put all of them together. And like I said before, right, like if let's say that you're just holding Plooshies and perhaps you find it hard to follow up what we've been doing, whether that be putting stuff on X or with our Medium articles or Discord, maybe you can just go to your website, The Miracle, right? See what we are putting out there, but also maybe you're also part of other communities, not only on ETH. And then you can see some other stuff, and then you can maybe figure out that, maybe I would like to, join this other community, because I find the stuff that they are doing and they're bringing to their community is pretty dope. And it also helps projects to gain that sort of exposure, right? Because if I'm thinking this way, right, perhaps some other people are thinking that too, that, I fuck with this project, but maybe there's this other project that could do or are doing stuff that I like. And I think that's pretty dope. I just want to reset the room real quick. Maybe Cole, do you want to explain what you are doing right now?
We're making a graphic for G4 finally. And by the way, I checked. August 2023 was the first.
Wow, look at that. So it's been 1 year, 12 months since we've been doing
congrats.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty that's pretty dope. You know what? We also have a Discord channel where we used to put all these custom artwork from Cole. We need to update because I mean, there's too many, right? That's on me, by the way. I should be posting that. I'll probably do that later today or tomorrow. But yeah, since August. And I don't know about you, Danilo, but did you know anything about the Plooshies maybe back then, back in 2023? Because we like to call ourselves the class of 23, right? So we minted our project back in March 2023. So yeah, I mean, I guess we're kind of new, but not so new anymore, right? Like we're not the new kids in the space. So yeah.
Yeah, but still, I would say like I mean everything in NFTs is still quite new.
Yeah.
We sometimes forget about that, but projects who are even like from 2021, it only has been now, you know, like 3 years, and
Yes.
I think a lot of people forget about that in a highly new environment, and still I see a lot of exciting things, you know, happening. Also, what you are pushing at the Plooshies, really excited to see what's happening on Abstract. Congratulations on that move.
Thank you.
I think that's a perfect match, and like yeah, I think gaming in general makes a whole lot of sense, and I'm really excited to see what you are going to pull out with the Abstract team.
Yeah, thank you for that. And yes, we are very, very excited about that. Like we knew the moment we were, I mean, we always knew that gaming was going to be one of our core pillars, right?
Yeah.
Like even when we minted the project, the people, for them to be able to get an allowed list or whitelist, whatever you want to call it, they needed to play some mini games, right? There were multiple mini games, and then they got the opportunity to kind of feel Plushie Island 1.0 for the first time, and we got really good response from that. So we were really focusing. Okay, we're building this IP with cute animals, right? Like we always bet on cuteness, like cute investment thesis. I don't know if you've seen that thrown around on crypto Twitter, but it's sort of like
matches
cuteness will always stand the test of time, right? And then obviously because we have people in our team who've been part of the Pudgy Penguin community since early days, since 2020, like our co-founders, it gave us that leverage, right? Like because the Pudgy Penguins is such a strong community. Even before like all the things that happened with Cole, not our Cole, but the other Cole Ethereum. And then when Luca acquired the Pudgy Penguins, like it's always been a strong community. So they will always try to support people who are part of that community and are building in the space. And we've seen that as well with including Luca, right? Like he's been really vocal about the fact that he wanted us to build on Abstract. Like he's the one who sent us a DM. Like I love what you guys have been doing. I think you guys would be the perfect fit for us on Abstract, right? Like we can do a bunch of stuff. You've seen he was telling us, right? Because we had a lot of different combos and meetings with Luca and stuff and the team, and he was saying like just simply look at what we're trying to do with Abstract, right? Consumer crypto. I can see the Plooshies there, and you can see what I've been able to pull with the Pudgy Penguins and my team as well. And now I can bring that kind of know-how and leverage to the Plooshies, so I can help you guys win as well. Because, well, obviously there's a bunch of Pudgy Penguins holding Plooshies, and he wants to see the Pudgy Penguins win first, but he also supports what we're building with the Plooshies. There's a lot of similarities with the stuff that we're building. Even, there's a really cool story with Victor the Viking, per se, who's sort of like the OG Pudgy Penguin holder, and they were the first ones to sort of come up with this sort of like storytelling idea with the Pudgy Penguins, even before Luca came into place. So a lot of the OG Pudgy Penguins remember the kind of like the Victor the Viking website, where Victor the Viking was gathering a lot of different OG Pudgy Penguins and creating stories with it, like short animations and stuff. So that's why storytelling has been at our core, right? Like it's one of our core pillars. So yeah, like long story short, when we got that DM and everything that Luca and the team keep announcing related to Abstract, is like it's a match made in heaven. Right?
This makes sense.
So it just makes a lot of sense. Like even when we were having other combos with other L2s, even today, like still getting DMs from other L2s that might be interested in what we're building. Like the interest is right there, right? we just need to be able to retain that, and being able to, once we release the product, like the final product, mean Plushie Island, people will be happy, right, with that,
How
because
is
yes, they can see that, they can see they saw the cinematic trailer. Now they can see the in-game trailer too. They see the abstract partnership, and but they're still
they're
like
excited?
waiting for
They
that. They're
must be very
excited.
excited.
Yeah, it's very excited, especially for community members who've been with us since March 23, right? Or even new community members who've been joining us since we released that announcement, or since we've been releasing, our previous announcements too. They're just very, very excited. And I mean, we're a small community, obviously, because I mean the collection is quite small, but those guys are pretty loud. Like when they rally together, they can be pretty loud. They're very excited and passionate about the Plooshies. They're very welcoming too. So yeah, it's just exciting times. Like honestly, we're just very, very happy. There's still a bunch of stuff to do. Obviously, now that we're building an abstract, we need to delay some things here and there so we can, from the technical standpoint.
Yep.
But other than that, like we're just ready and waiting for that epic moment where I can, go on Plushie Island as my Plushie and build my home and hang out with my friends. And it's something that, in my opinion, obviously a biased opinion, but I can see kids playing Plushie Island. Because obviously, yes, being a Web3 game, but you don't really need to know anything about NFTs. If you don't know an NFT, you can play as a guest, right? Like you can log in with simple stuff like Google, like your email account or whatever.
Yeah, I like that.
Just have fun. Like, yes, there's NFTs and blockchain integrated to it, but it's also open for everyone. Like it's a free game for everyone. Obviously, there's some stuff to with the token and pushy points and cuddle and mini games where people can be competitive with each other. But it's just something that I can see my niece playing that game, right? I can see teenagers playing that game. I can see us, DJs playing that game because I want to get those pushy points because maybe I can make that into cuddle, and cuddle will be the upcoming token, and I can buy stuff in the marketplace. We can place different IPs from Web3, which we will be doing, and we can place IPs from Web2, from our partners from Web2. There's just a bunch of stuff that we can do on Plooshies Island, and I'm just very excited, and I hope I can exude that excitement to my community, to people who might be thinking, should I buy a Plooshie now or not? So yeah, it's just very, very exciting, and obviously, thanking you guys for putting up that website where, like I said before, right, like it gives us a bit more exposure to other communities, perhaps, that they can see the stuff that we're putting out there. And yeah, just pretty exciting time to.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Bogan, our main focus right now is, I mean, you mentioned it, that it's cool to have that exposure on the Miracle and see what projects are offering for their holders, but also benefits and rewards from third parties. I think that also plays a huge role. And what I think is cool about NFTs, that basically anyone can create value for you as a holder. But we want to push that even more forward. So what we started just like 2.5 weeks ago, we released the first version of our API. So our goal is to push that information on every marketplace, every wallet, every portfolio tracking tool, every app which is using and supporting NFTs, that when you are on a certain application and you're interested into gaming, you see, for example, the Plooshies NFT and you see what's actually currently available for holders. Or if you store your Plooshies NFT on Ledger, you see what's the current rewards and benefits, and you can actually claim it also through that app. So we really want to maximize distribution and get as much as eyeballs as possible on things which are available for holders.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, also for you as a project, happy to offer you our API if you want to integrate it even on one of your pages or in future also the app. So
yeah,
I can imagine
yeah, I mean, obviously, we can jump in DMs, and obviously, you have the API that works. We can figure something out. Obviously, I'm not the technical genius behind that, but I can guarantee that Penelope will look into it, and surely he can put it into
I can imagine,
right?
the holders seeing on Plooshy Island in future, on their profile, on their collector profile, or whatever, how it will look, what's currently available for them. So yeah, that's something what we are currently pushing. I wanted to ask you about Plooshy Island because I'm really interested in. So
go
do
for
you
it.
know already like when can people expect it to go live? Also, I know that might be a lot depending on Abstract. What I heard from Abstract is like mainnet going live in Q4. That was like my last information I had.
What we're expecting as well is to release Plooshy Island Q4 as well. But the first thing that we want to do, because in our collection, like the full collection is 3,333, but we have 333 Plooshies with an inner circle trait, which essentially means they are the core community members, right? There's a bunch of different perks attached to that trait. We even gave those for free when we minted the Plooshies. So one of those things that we've mentioned a long time ago is that they will get the first licensing opportunities. But in terms of the Plooshy Island, is they will get the first opportunity to beta test the game, right, before we can go public. So all of that, we expect that to be in Q4, right? Because as well, we're in the middle of raising funds for Cuddle, and all those funds. Everyone can know what how we're going to be using those funds, but it's for the token, right? For the token, the gaming token ecosystem. But yeah, expect that in Q4 if things go according to plan, because we've worked in that game pretty much since probably like August, September of last year. We're still working on that game, right? Like it took, gaming development takes a very, very long time, and this game is quite big. Like Plooshy Island 1.0 was just a small version of what Plooshy Island 2.0 would look like. Like even if we get to compare how the first version and this one looks like, they're entirely different, right? In terms of gaming mechanics, the gaming loop, the visuals, the mechanics, like all of the stuff that we put there. So yeah, we work on that game for more than 12 months. There's still a bunch of stuff that has to be done before we're able to release it to first the beta test and then the public release. But yeah, we're expecting that to be Q4. Now we kind of need to be aligned with what Abstract is doing, right? So we can, because we're one of the first, I would say, NFT / gaming projects that has been announced that they will be building on Abstract. So this is a very good opportunity for us, right? In terms of exposure and like the first movers on Abstract, right? Like we as a team are definitely betting that Abstract will be that consumer crypto chain that can change the narrative on how quote unquote normies perceive crypto. And we can be at the forefront of that and using the power of the community of the Pudgy Penguins and the power of the gigabrains that are behind that project that can be leveraged to our project as well. So yeah, it's just exciting times. Obviously that could be Q4. Many things can happen, right? Like we could even announce that it could be earlier, it could be a little bit later or so, but just so the community knows, like the game's ready, right? Like there's a bunch of stuff that are pretty much ready, maybe a few things that we need to tweak here and there. But yeah, once we get to that point, like I told you, I'm just so excited that people will finally be able to play on Plooshy Island. Like Cole and our other 3D artist, Godwin, they've worked a lot on Plooshy Island. Like, a lot of the stuff that you guys are going to see there is mostly thanks to Cole and Godwin, our other 3D artists, right? So
I can see the talent here. And
yeah, look at that! Like
by looking,
it's just insane, though. Like even us as a team and as a community as well, we've seen the progress of Cole as a 3D artist. Like it's just bonkers, man. Like it's insane. And yeah, honestly, we're just very pleased and lucky as well to have someone like Cole in our team. So yeah, Cole, do you want to give us an update on what you've been cooking for G4?
Yep, here's how it's looking. So just got to keep filling it up. I'll probably do like a pool table or something here, and then we can start.
Oh, nice. All right, cool. So what did G4 tell you to do for him?
So he said he's meeting up with some friends in, I can't remember which country, but
Hungary, I reckon. Right? Does it?
Not sure, because he said he's going on a holiday with some friends from
Yeah, right.
NFTs,
Right.
and they'll go to the pub or whatever, have a drink. So we're making
Nice.
a pub, and then we'll include some of the communities he's meeting up with in the scene.
And what are those communities, by the way?
Lil Pudgy and Kitaro.
Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Cool. And what about you, Danilo? Like, other than, I know that you're repping Wrecked Guy as your PFP, but are you part of other NFT communities? What's been exciting for you in terms of NFTs? Are you buying NFTs? Are you trading NFTs?
Yeah, I mean, I just recently collected stuff from Doodles, so
Nice.
I really love the Doodles pass, and also like Arcadigen from Chimpers. So they're hearing their exciting things which would get released, and
Yes.
which I really like. And yeah, besides that, I've been for a longer time part of the Zen Academy. So
Right. Okay.
I was joining a lot of his weekly calls with founders. So
Yep.
if you're a founder, if you're building something in Web3, I can highly recommend that. Always cool, happening on Friday.
Okay.
But yeah, like mostly right now, just like building, pushing, connecting with other projects and founders, but also definitely looking into what projects are shipping. And I think like the Doodles Pass is a very, very cool example of making NFTs accessible to a bigger audience. So you could mint it on Base, minimal, like really low gas fees, small price, open edition, and you could unlock through the NFT like a special video, and also open packs to win some sneakers in collaboration with Adidas. And I think that gives us a good like indication of where also consumer crypto is going to head, like projects releasing cool stuff which will be linked to a token, but I think the consumer at the end of that process won't realize in future what kind of token it is, which chain it is, and doesn't have to deal with all the technicalities and stuff we have to do still. So yeah, definitely looking into a lot of projects who are offering those cool benefits for holders. One I can also highly recommend, even if you are in Europe, is Plooshies from Air Baltic. So they're one of the bigger airlines and companies in Europe. So they make I think $500 million in revenues, and they're having an NFT collection as their loyalty program. But a lot of people in Web3 they don't know about it because they didn't promote it through Web3, but through their existing customer base.
Okay.
But it gives you access to free flights, to business class upgrades, and other cool stuff. Nice. And yeah, just seeing like all these different kinds of brands and projects, from travel to lifestyle to entertainment, but also crypto native are pushing cool things, and that makes me really excited about the future. So
yeah, I think it's such an interesting thing to mention though, because I believe that we are very enclosed in our echo chamber that we forget to see all the stuff that people are building, right? Like, it's just because maybe they're not super loud on social media, or they're not being mentioned by your typical KOLs, or they're not being pushed by, perhaps they don't consider themselves KOLs, but they might be OG crypto people and stuff, and people pay attention to them, right? But then you can see that, once we really don't see, and we don't have to go through all the hassle that we went through, and we're still going through, right? When we're creating wallets and bridging from one chain to the other, and and it's very stressful bridging, because you don't know if you're going to lose your funds, and you're like, holy shit, I just sent $1,000. Am I really getting that? And or even, paying a small fraction, then those $1,000 become 990 or so. So yeah, those things, once we don't really see them, right? Like, because we don't really give a fuck about what's behind the tech.
Exactly.
Like, I don't care what's behind X. I don't care what's behind my iPhone or
Nobody
my
give a shit,
Android.
right?
Like, nobody gives a shit. But once people start using that tech on a daily basis, without them knowing they're using this tech, that's when we're probably going to see something different. But I think it's going to be interesting, though, because perhaps there's a lot of speculation in our industry, right? Especially
Yeah.
with NFTs and shit coins and stuff. But there's really cool stuff that perhaps is bringing a lot of revenue, but perhaps for people who are holding those NFTs won't matter much because the price won't go up, right?
Yeah.
But the tech is being used. So yeah, I don't know what's your take
Yeah,
on it?
I think like price, of course, is like price is driving also narratives. But as I said, like what I realized with the Doodles Pass when I bought it, I wasn't once like checking what's the floor price or what's like the I didn't care. And I think as you said, like for consumers, when we talk about consumers and you look at the landscape of people who are part, for example, of a loyalty program or a membership program of any brand or company, I was last time calculating numbers, and we have like in the US and in Europe 411 million consumers who are part of at least one program, at least one. In the US, you say like on one person there are like 17 programs. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's crazy. So people love to be part of something. They like to get certain rewards and benefits. And I think in Web 2, it's not exciting at all. You know, I don't know, like I can't remember the last time I was actually like using something, or even if I'm not using it, I couldn't share it because it's like on one database. I don't have full ownership over the benefits and so on. And I think there are so many things which can be improved with Web3 technology. But as you said, the consumer at the end of the day don't give a shit. Like if it's on chain or off chain or whatever, it need to solve the problem of the consumer and give him a feeling of a reward, something which like brings him value. You know, even if it's in terms of time, in terms of connection. We are social people, most of us, and the other thing is money, like regarding value. So I think NFTs nail all of those principles. You know, you can be part of a community, and you have a voice in that community. It has a part of identity. You can rock it as your PFP and other cool stuff. And on the other hand, you have that transferability, that ownership element, which is super important. And if we inject that in every company, every brand, every program, every game, I think this can lead to the biggest value creation of the next generation. That's what I believe, that you have at the end of the day one world which is somehow connected with each other, where everyone can create and share value for each other. But it will take time. It will take time. That's like my 10 to 15 years vision.
Yeah, I mean, most of these things, it will take a very, very long time. Hopefully we'll get to see that, right? Like because there's a bunch of different factors that we need to consider as well, like from a macro perspective, that could totally influence how this industry is going to look like in the next 5 to 10 years, or 15 years, right? But I wanted to touch base on one of the things that you mentioned, which is these sort of loyalty programs. And I think that's sometimes you don't really need to reinvent the wheel in Web3, because you see stuff that works pretty well in Web 2, that you just need to tweak some stuff here and there and then put a little bit of blockchain tech and see where this can go. But there's a bunch of stuff that even big projects that we've seen from Bored Ape Yacht Club, from Pocha Penguins, from Doodles, Azuki, a bunch of stuff that they've quote unquote innovated. It's stuff that's been done in Web 2 before, but it's been proven successful there. So might as well give it a go in Web 3, and if it works, then you pretty much, I mean, the thesis is right. Exactly. Because it worked in Web 2 and it's working in Web 3, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel, or not everything needs to be on on chain, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe today makes no sense, but maybe in 5 to 10 years it will make sense. Or yeah.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that point, and this is where I think, like loyalty and reward programs, they work very well. There is like the numbers are growing, companies are trying to innovate every year, and what can make it better? Right now, companies can't easily collaborate with each other because you have in Web 2 just like one database. It works in silos. So if you as Plooshies, for example, let's say you are in Web 2 and you want to create value for someone from, I don't know, any other game, it's hard because you don't have access to their database, to the customer name, address, blah blah blah. So I think blockchain solves that projects and brands, companies can more easily work together, because now you just need to know, okay, which chain is the community you want to address, and then you can token gate it. And I think that's the beauty of NFTs, and we see also in the space a lot of projects who are collaborating with each other, and I think that will, at the end of the day, being used also from bigger companies in the world.
Yeah, I agree. Like that, like interoperability that we can use with this tech. I think that's.
I mean, also for you, for Plooshies Island, I guess you have also plans to integrate other communities, right? And their
NFTs.
Of course, will make sense.
Yeah, look, when we talk about Plooshies Island, right? Like we always say that we want it to be one of the biggest community hubs in Web3. And the reason why we say that is, yes, the Plooshies at the forefront, but it's open for everyone, right? It's open. Yeah. Like if you watch the cinematic trailer or the in-game trailer, you can see different Web3 IPs on Plooshies Island, because that's how we want it to look like, right? Like someone already did that pretty well, which is Nifty Island, but the genre of their game is entirely different to what we want to do. So one of the stuff that we are doing and people will be able to see on Plooshies Island is that they will see other Web3 IPs, mostly from other communities that we are very close with, that we are friends with, or that we think that they are doing really cool and interesting stuff in the space. Obviously, that will become an open invitation for everyone else who want to become part of Plooshies Island. Obviously, I mean, it will give you as well like this exposure to this new chain called Abstract Chain, led by the Pudgy Penguins and some base that's like Cyger and with the thesis of consumer crypto. So why not being part of that ecosystem? But they will see them first as AI-driven NPCs. It's something that we did in the first iteration of Plooshies Island, where pretty much you can have a regular combo with, let's say, Lucanets as his Pudgy Penguin. So we train the AI as Lucanets. So that's cool. It will feel like you're talking to Lucanets, and perhaps later on, because we have one character called Plooshy Sensei, or Ploosh Sensei, or Sensei Ploosh, that will give you quests, right, on a daily basis. So you complete this quest, and then you will get Plooshy points. But one of the stuff that we can do with, because every single IP kind of has a little bit of lore, and also a little bit of, kind of attachment to the Plooshies, so we can create quests that these AI-driven NPCs can give you, related to, let's say, stuff related to Pudgy Penguins, or we've done stuff with, like, for instance, Kitaro or Saison, the Chobicorns, the Plague, multiple communities, right? So we can do
storytelling.
That. And then, yes, correct, exactly right, because that's one of our main things, right? And then later on, we can evolve that to the point where we can integrate entire collections onto Plooshies Island. So perhaps you don't own a Plooshie, why not? I mean, buy a Plooshie. But maybe you don't own a Plooshie, and you're not, getting all these perks that you could be getting because you have a Plooshie on Plooshies Island. But you want to rep your other communities, because we want to see Plooshy Island with different, because it's a multiplayer game. It's not like you're going to go on Plooshy Island and just interact with NPCs or AI-driven NPCs. You're going to interact with your friends too. But it would be really cool if you see you as a Plooshy and your friend who's maybe a little potty and can be there. Obviously, there's a lot of technical difficulties because not a lot of these projects have 3D rigged assets. Most of them are 2D. So then that's a little bit of an issue, right? Because they would have to create the entire collection in 3D, or maybe we turn out offering that service and we have all working 24/7 and creating that for those collections, and then we get money that way. Like, I don't know, like there's so many things, right? But ideally that's the point. Like first as AI driven NPCs, and then people interacting with each other with the other IPs, and just simply having fun. Like use this as your main community hub where there's a voice chat system, the typical chat system whilst you can see your friend building their home and maybe offering some advice, like just or playing
I love
mini
that, having
games
fun,
and being competitive. Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, like I just want to say, like I think it's such a important. I'm like by myself. I was playing a lot of video games like when I had like my PS2 and PS3, but I think like when I'm thinking back to the time when I was playing video games, it always comes down to the fun in my point. And I think in Web3 we see a lot of games also trying to trying too much to make that like best like crypto game or whatever. But at the end of the day, it should be fun. It should be fun to use. It should be fun to hang out with your friends, to interact with others. And I think that's like one of the most important ingredients to after have also retention and people actually staying and playing the game and not just coming to farm some tokens.
Yeah, exactly right. I think you nailed it perfectly. Like, because we've mentioned this before, that there's a lot of speculation in this space. So when people see games and tokens, they just want to get that and get their exit. But then perhaps, I mean, you kind of need that audience too. But then you need your casual gamers, because Plooshy Island ultimately is just a hyper casual game that you're going to be able to play first on your PC. Later on, we can have combos where we can see where we can bring this game right to other platforms. Obviously, that takes a lot of time, a lot of negotiation skills and stuff, and obviously the technical side of things. But yeah, it's just have fun, spend some time in Plooshy Island, spend 15, 20, 30 minutes, then do your thing, and then go back again. Organize yourself, create guilds with your friends where you can just hang out, invite everyone else to play. I mean, it's not an easy task, not gonna lie. It's gonna be hard. It's sort of like that excitement and a little bit of anxiety how people will react to the game once they get to play it, because obviously the metrics and numbers matter a lot, obviously for us as KPIs, but also for people looking from the outside, right? Like people looking at the IP and the game and where this can lead, right? Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Just very, very excited though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see it in action. What do you think about, like, talking about demographics? Do you think like, is it going to be like a game you mentioned before, like also kids were playing? Because I was just last time reading an article that nowadays it's super interesting that kids have they have a school, home, and then their third home, like where they meet their friends, is in games.
Yeah,
that totally changed. Like from when I was growing up, you were at school, at home, and outside.
Yeah, now the same to me. But yeah, how we envision Plooshies, right?
Yeah,
we see this brand appealing different age groups, right? Like the demographics can go from kids to teenagers to young adults to adults, just because we truly believe in this cute investment thesis where cuteness will always stand the test of time. So obviously playing on Plooshy Island, there's going to be some restrictions so kids can actually play the game. And if they interact with, let's say they're interacting with fucking degens, right, which is an entirely different breed, it wouldn't, cause an issue. But then after that, like, you simply can expand. You can expand to other stuff, right? Like from our mobile games too, where we can bring kids to the table. Where we're also working on our upcoming YouTube series. Where if I'm taking the example of my niece who's turning 7 relatively soon, but I've seen her grow up for quite a while. Like YouTube is such an important part of her life, right? Like all these series that she gets to see there. Like think about Bluey, right? Like Bluey is from Australia, and it came from YouTube, or following all these other series like Cocomelon, for instance, right? So we can do that as well with the Plooshies, where if our storytelling and our writing is top notch with the 3D and everything, and we become the success that we want to become, we're thinking that YouTube can be one of those things where we can attract that sort of demographic, right? Like there's a lot of content that we can create that way. Even creating content with yourself as your Plooshie. There's
the whole licensing
the possibilities are endless. Licensing for our holders too, that if the YouTube series becomes successful, and if you're a holder and you're featured in this YouTube series, you want it to be a success, right? So you're going to be pushing it as well as a community member. You're going to be shilling this to your kids all the way to your grandma, to your co-workers and stuff. So yeah, we're working on so many things where we can place the IP, not like reinventing the wheel, but we know that these things have been proven successful, and we're simply placing the Plooshies IP in so many different ways. There's many angles there, and knocking on wood will become one of the successful projects that were born in Web3. So that's the vision, and then obviously what comes after that, the physical products, merge, the Plooshies or Plooshies, like
ways,
yeah, exactly,
a lot of opportunities.
So, yeah, exactly. Right. Like it's a lot of kind of hopium, right? Like, but if I'm being realistic, like we don't even know if it's going to be that big of a success, right? Like there's too many factors that we need to take into account, that maybe we will have to pivot. So we're just trying a bunch of stuff, and once we nail it, right? Like, so yeah, like product market fit. Once we nail it, we know that we're on the right track. Yeah. So it's the nature of Web3 as well, where you're experimenting a lot and see where you can. Okay, this is it. Now let's just fucking run it turbo, and we can do something here. Right?
Man, I can relate to that so much, and I think that's the best way to do it. You have to run a lot of experiments. You should be like in the startup mode. You should be running experiments, maybe even on a weekly basis, and try to find ways to test it with a low budget and see what works and what not, and then double down on things which seems promising. So I really like that approach, and I'm excited to see where Plooshies and IP is going to be in the next months and years.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's really been an exciting journey, like a lot of sweat and tears, but we're
How many
here
people are at Plooshies at the moment?
At the moment, I think unique wallets, like 600.
I don't know, like people working at like the team.
Oh, right, people working at the team. We must be around like 10, 15. Sometimes it really depends, because sometimes we kind of hire people from with other expertise that we don't have at the moment. So for instance, when we were building like our soft staking platform, the bridge that we're building, including Plooshy Island as well, right? Because we are not a gaming company per se. We hired a Web3, not Web3, but they've done stuff in Web3, including Axie Infinity, like they were part of that. So we like I said, we have the IP, the Plooshies, and we know where we can go with this IP. So if we don't have the expertise, there will be this long process of hiring the right people who fit into our goals, our vision, and our values. And once we get them, then we can start building the products that perhaps at the moment we don't have. Obviously, when the time is right, when the funding is there, we can increase the team, like the
Yeah.
team at the Plooshies, because obviously it will be way cheaper for us to have someone, in the gaming sector who has Unity, expertise and skills that can be working for us, with a contract, rather than hiring that from the outside. But this is, if we put all of them, it's just a bunch of people, like from different devs, from gaming devs, from marketing, from social media, the core team, the artists, and obviously I will also put the community there, because the community is doing a bunch of things, at least on social media, where they can represent us and they can put us out there. So the way that we are now rewarding them, because even today, right, like some people who are watching this live stream, they will get Plooshy points, and those Plooshy points will be very important on Plooshy Island, because you will need them to buy stuff on the marketplace. There are very important items that you need to do specific things on Plooshy Island. Some others are just to make your home beautiful or whatever. We can also put a lot of different stuff on that marketplace, but ultimately, like Plooshy points will become the upcoming token Cuddle, which will be released on Abstract chain, probably one of the first tokens as well on that chain. So
exciting.
I mean, it's really exciting, a bunch of stuff. But like TLDR, it kind of varies a little bit depending on where we are focusing. So we hire external people, or we just hire the team that's been with us since like pretty much the very beginning, including Cole, for instance, right?
Yeah, you have to stay dynamic. I would say, like in that stage, like you have that core team of the founders and the people who joined in the beginning, I guess. And then, as you mentioned, a lot depends on fundraising and finding that product market fit, obviously. But I can see you still, like, for building such a big ecosystem and what you already have out, you have a very lean team.
And it's one of those things that when people look at what we've done with the Plooshies, right? Ever since we minted the project, and with the whole experience of minting the Plooshies and how everything turned out and the stuff that we've done, some things have worked, some things have definitely failed, but we keep pushing. I would say that the majority of people are highly impressed with the stuff that we've been able to put out there, with limited resources, with limited human resources as well, where they can see, holy shit, these guys, like, now picture them,
they're
like,
shipping,
they keep shipping stuff, where a lot of projects from 2021 or 2022, where they were lucky enough to still get royalties, that we don't get that anymore. It's not part of a business model anymore, because realistically speaking, you can't create a business based on that, like in 2021 and 2022. But if you look at most of those projects, they're gone, right? Like, whether that be because poor management skills, like project management was really bad, or because they really didn't have a plan, they didn't really want to, they just extracted value, right? Like, they just extracted the money, they didn't know what to do, and they left, and they raised a fuck ton of money that I wish we would have been able to raise. Because
crazy,
things would be entirely different. So when people get to hear that story and they see, like, holy shit, these guys, lean team, limited resources, human resources, etc., and they keep doing stuff and pushing.
But do you agree? Do you agree, Bogan, that I even think that when you are in that position as a startup and you don't have unlimited resources, you have to like put on a different mindset. You have to be very sharp in your decisions. You have to have that killer instinct that you are like, hey, if I'm not risking also something, I'm done. I think you move differently. That's what I experienced also with the Miracle in the last like weeks and months, and that's also something. I think Garga was in a live stream with Frag Guy, and he said that when Yuga Labs raised like 400 millions, or what was it, like a
ridiculous amount of money.
Was crazy, and a lot of things changed, in how they were building Yuga Labs, and
Yeah.
I think having that mindset and that environment of, hey, you have to risk stuff, you have to ship fast, you have to talk to your customers every day, to your community every day, just creates like a different dynamic, the way you ship things. And when you have maybe too much money in the bank and you think like, oh, I don't have this pressure, let's build this and ship it maybe like in 12 months or whatever. It's a different story, I guess. So
no, go for it.
No, go go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I think he's right, and yeah, once you get that complacency, right, because you have a bunch of money on your chessboard, like on your treasury, and then you're like, oh, now I don't really have the pressure. Like I was able to, raise a lot of funds because my marketing strategy was top notch.
Yeah.
If you remember back in 2021 or 2022, all you needed was a very good marketing strategy to build hype, FOMO, and a good website. That's everything. That's all you needed, right? And realistically speaking, you didn't really need to spend a lot of money considering the funds you were gonna raise. And then you get complacent with the stuff that you were meant to ship, that that you place in your roadmap, quote unquote roadmap, but there was nothing really tangible there. And like you got to see a lot of projects just living with those funds, like the founders living with the funds, or just like I said, like poor project management, or they just didn't know what to do with the funds, and they spent it all in useless stuff that didn't move the needle for them.
Yeah, I agree. And then what you mentioned made sense. Like you have all that funds, and then you are hiring like crazy, like having a really big team. I think also OpenSea, they at some point they were huge, and maybe
I remember the days when OpenSea were just a few people there working. Even getting able to contact them took you fucking weeks, because there were like 3-4 people working at OpenSea, and they were getting so many millions in revenues every week.
Yeah, that was
insane.
And then you hear stories about Instagram or WhatsApp when they were already a $1 billion company and they had like 10 or 20 people maximum,
Yeah.
So I think it really depends on the leadership, the experience the founders bring in, as you said, like project management, and sometimes it's good for you as a team and a startup that you have to hustle a bit in the beginning, I guess, to find that just like that drive, like just like keep shipping and feeling like, hey, you have to be very, very sharp in the things you do, because if you don't do it, it might be over in a week or in a month or whatever, and you automatically start to take more risks.
Yeah, correct.
And more experiments, as you mentioned.
Yeah, but I think you're right though, like, because it is the nature of a startup company. Even people who've worked in startup companies, not here in Web3 but also in Web2, they know that there's a huge risk, right? Like perhaps in Web2, when there's a startup company and they were able to raise a lot of funds, maybe you're going to be earning more than your friend working at a traditional Web2 company. But the risk is there that perhaps you're not going to have that company in 1 year. Like, you don't know. In Web3, it's sort of like, okay, it's a lean team, right? Like not that many team members. You need to know that sometimes you just, it's not like you're going to be paying yourself a bunch of money, because it makes no sense. You need to be careful with the money that you raise for you to be able to keep shipping the products, and then maybe later on you can raise your own salary. Like I can give you an example where, for instance, I don't know if you've seen Jirasan with PG Group and Shan all over the place, Penny Red with this new collection, etc. Like for so many years, like this guy, because I met him twice in Melbourne in the past years or so, but he used to work at Tesla, right? As an engineer there. Like I don't really know what he was doing, but he was getting paid pretty well, right? And then he went into Web3 like full on, and obviously he needed to quit his job, but he wasn't paying himself a lot of money or his team a lot of money, up until the point where they are, as a company, with so many different products that
Mm.
even he himself was able to say that transparently. Like we were getting paid ourselves like maybe $3,000. Some of our team members were around that, range, but
Mm.
compare that to what I was getting working at Tesla, it's nothing, right? But now that we're in a different position, now we can increase our salary a little bit, but knowing that we need to be careful though. Like, yes, we have the money now, but it's like we're gonna be spending that on us. Like we need to be able to manage that, like manage
Yeah,
the funds and a bunch of stuff. So it is just the nature of a startup company, in my opinion, at least here in Web3, but also in Web2, right?
I agree.
You yourself, you can see that with your own company, The Miracle, and your team. Like maybe you can tell us a little bit about your team. I don't think we've talked about that, other than knowing
Yeah.
that you're one of the faces of The Miracle.
Yeah, I'm very happy that as I said, like when I first time met one of my co-founders, Daniel, was in 2021, and I was in this time still working for a big tech company in Switzerland, and we were running like application management for crypto banks, and then I said, hey, I'm so fascinated by the space. I want to build something by my own. So actually funny, like met him at university. I took like classes in blockchain tech and really wanted to understand more about the technology and how it works, the use cases and so on. And then it was a longer process actually, because Daniel and me, we were not like the tech founders. And we had Gilles, who is excellent in UX and UI, Daniel, who brings in like 27 years of experience in building and also selling startups. The Miracle's like his seventh startup. And then we took like 1 year to find the right people to start building The Miracle. So a lot of people in the beginning, they entered our group. We had casual like meetings, just hanging around, talking about NFTs, different use cases, and that was all during that super bull run in 2021, end of 2021, beginning of 2022, and that was during the time when I met Karim, which you know also from the chat group. And Karim is coming from the entertainment and music business, so he produced like more than 500 videos and content for the biggest artists in Europe and in Switzerland. And he actually did the first metaverse concert in Switzerland. So so like NFTs brought us together, and then from there it was like Karim knows another person who is really into NFTs, and then the other guys came to the team, like Vuxi, our CTO, called LTR on Twitter. He has been building tools and smart contracts for also bigger artists like Jack NFT, who exhibited at Sotheby's, and he's our, I would say, like brain when it comes to automation and the whole also AI tool behind The Miracle, where the data is being like created and categorized and all that stuff. And yeah, I would say like a very cool mix of people who are fascinated and very deep into like Web3 and NFTs, but bring in different backgrounds from Web2. So our CTO before, like in Web3 full-time, is like for 4 years now. Before he worked at Abacus, like a SaaS company. And Karim, coming from the entertainment, the music business, worked a lot of creators, which was also a perfect match with the Web3 space. Daniel, with his experience in working and scaling and selling startups from tech to real estate and other stuff. And then a bunch of other guys who joined the team during the past year. For example, we have Coops, who is working on the product as a product owner, just all day, like heads down, juggling, balancing around the different like benefits which are distributed through all the chains. And Burim, brings in like 20 years of experience in building apps from Web 2 to Web 3, who is our backend dev. And yeah, I would say like heavily focused on like a strong tech team to really build the best infrastructure and product to make benefits accessible, but also with people who come in from a more creative environment and cultural entertainment environment to make it also accessible for consumers and users. I think that was very important from the beginning. We don't want to just push another tech product, another like infrastructure product. I think there are plenty of them, but we really want to make the cool shit which is being built in the space accessible, which we also would love to use. That was like one of the principles in the beginning, how we put the team together. And also with Gilles, our brain behind the UX and the UI, you can see that we are also heavily focused on having a really good user experience. So yeah, like maybe I lost in the team, but I like the cool thing about the team is, and what I'm really proud on is like everyone who joined, they saw the vision, they wanted to go all in and really make benefits and experiences on chain accessible for everyone, and I'm super proud of having such a great team.
I think that's such an interesting take, and I couldn't agree more with you. Like once you find the perfect people to work with you or for you that see the vision, they will always stick by you.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, like because they do see the vision, they want to bring this to life. But they're also excited about the stuff that they're building, because like you yourself mentioned that like I would use this. Right, so you're building stuff that you think that you will be using, and you think that other people will use as well. Perhaps you can get feedback from your team, like maybe not because you're going to be using it, other people will use it, but they do see the vision. Then you have your core team that truly believe in that, and that's the most important thing, right? Because it's not easy to hire the right people that actually
it's super hard
fit your vision, your values, your goals, and that you know that no matter what, high or low, they're still gonna be with you, and they're gonna be pushing to make it a successful company.
I agree.
So yeah, it's something that we've gone through as well. Like for instance, Victor and Penelope being two of the co-founders, they went through all of that, like including when I became part of the team, right? Because I was just a community member. So at first I was just a community member who fell in love with the first trailer, and I just wanted to be part of it. And I was even offering other services at first, even for free, because I saw that we had a bunch of friends in common. And then later on, long story short, here I am, right? But yeah, you need to find those people.
No, I just want to say that we also like two people from the community with Bastien and Coops, who joined like first as being excited about what we're building, and then I think that's like the most beautiful thing, hiring people from your community who are really excited about what you're building, who are like the first users and the first fans and the first ambassadors who are pushing that product. Like to the outside. But yeah, I agree, like one of the most important things in the beginning is finding the right co-founders and building the right team, and really take your time doing that, because if the team spirit and the skills you're putting together are the right ones, you can basically reach everything. I think there is really no limit if you find that sweet spot when just like everyone and everything is working, and also, as you mentioned, solving a problem for themselves. We started building the Miracle because we were frustrated of missing out stuff on X and on Twitter, and everything is fragmented and not user friendly, and we wanted to solve that for us. And I think that's like one of the most important ingredients in the beginning.
Yeah, which is now that you mention that, it's a little bit ironic, right? Like most of us projects are relying on a centralized platform like X or
Yeah,
Discord or even Telegram. Like you saw that news lately with the founder and stuff. Like
yeah,
we relied on that stuff to communicate what we're doing, what we're building. Uh, I mean, just think about it, right? Like even what if everything goes down? How are you going to be able
yeah,
to communicate with with your people, right? So perhaps you can use other ways where you can communicate that, like convey that message, so people can still get updated about what's going on.
yeah.
But yeah,
I,
anyways, I
I,
just wanted real quick to ask Cole to give us a little bit of an update of the current custom artwork for G4. So Cole. I think you muted.
My bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, all good.
Yeah, so here's how it's looking. Pretty much done with the main shape of stuff.
Okay.
Gonna start filling it out.
it looks cool.
So those two plushies are G4 plushies, right? Both of them.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay. I'm wondering if he's still here with us so he can see that. But yeah, pretty cool. So guys, as well, just a quick reminder, if you can like and repost the live stream, for me it will be way easier to find you, so we can send you those pushy points next week. So if you haven't done that, then just simply like and retweet the live stream, and then we'll look after you. But yeah, I know that you, Cole, mentioned you have to leave in the next 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start closing this live stream. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's been great. Like, honestly, it's just sometimes it's a little bit difficult, right? Because you want to focus on what he's doing, because it's quite impressive. He makes it look so easy, right? But yeah, look, when we're talking about experimenting with stuff, right? Like, we started doing these streams in our Discord, right?
Yeah.
But then our community members were asking, like, especially when kind of live streams were becoming kind of the new thing on X, like, why don't you transition to that? Like, put yourself out there. Like, you were in our echo chamber, like, safe, right? It was like
and kudos to that. Yeah.
A safe place, and we're like, yeah, you know what, might as well give it a go. Like, all of us are doxed anyways, all of us are pretty good looking people as well, so people would enjoy watching Cole creating some stuff and looking at us, I suppose, and listening to us ramble about a bunch of shit. But yeah, it's experimenting, right? Like,
it's super cool.
We were
yeah,
just doing that, and now we are kind of like, we don't see that quite often. I don't see, maybe it's my echo chamber, but I don't see a lot of projects doing.
No, you are right.
Where you just hang out with people who are building in the space, whilst we get the opportunity to see this fucking guy create something out of nothing, right? With our IP.
Honestly, I think that's super cool and also super relaxing watching you that creating stuff like live. I could continue watching and just talking. And I think that's super cool. I also don't see it too often. And it was also something we were talking within our team to start something regarding. I mean, I have that set up at home now to start more doing like video content or start a stream or whatever. So I really think it's a very cool thing to create content, vibe with the community, invite cool people, and also showcase your skills. I mean, Cole, you are a chat.
I couldn't agree more with that statement. Like, we could totally close this thing. Hey, like, Cole, you're a chat. Boom, that's it. Let's go.
No, man, it was really cool to be here. Really, thanks a lot for the invitation. Will definitely not be the last time we talk. Definitely have to follow up and also show you some stuff. As I said, what we are shipping, asking you also what we can improve for you and your community, which is really important for us to have that direct contact to the people behind those projects and brands.
Yeah, I think that's also kind of like the beauty and the nature of the space, right? That you get to, take your shot, right? Like just jump in DMs and perhaps you can, build a beautiful relationship / partnership / friendship later on. So this is something that we like to do. I obviously appreciate your time. Hopefully we'll get to see you one of these days joining the Plooshies fam. If not, we're always, like even myself, right? Like if I'm not a holder of any other community, but I still support them from the outside because I truly believe in what they're doing, and I will be vocal about it, whether that be on spaces or with my posts. But you're more than welcome in our community. I think people will be very pleased once they see, the website and how they can, interact with it and see other communities, ours as well, and the stuff that we are providing to them. Thank you. I appreciate that you took some time to hang out with us.
Always. Would love to come back later on at another day. But thanks a lot for having me. Really cool stuff what you're building, and I'm excited about our partnership and push Plooshies forward.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you guys. Do you have any closing words, Cole, related to the artwork?
No, just thanks for tuning in. Nice to meet you as well, Danilo. And have a good night, everyone.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, thank you. And remember, like and retweet so I can track you guys and give you those Plooshies points. And exciting times. Turn your notice on. There's a bunch of stuff coming our way. Definitely exciting that we're building on Abstract with the help of, Luca, Budget Penguins and their devs, and, help the support as well from people like Danilo as well that are pushing our brand into their website so we can perhaps connect with other communities. And as you guys know, every Wednesday, it kind of depends, could be 1 hour later or 1 hour a little bit earlier, but every Wednesday we try to do our live streams with Cole. We will be bringing more guests as well. If you guys have any, any suggestions of who we can bring, jump in my DMs or just, tell us in Discord, and we'll try to make it happen. But other than that, thank you guys. Thank you, Cole. Thank you, Danilo. Thank you to all the 300 people who've been watching us for the past hour or so. Thank you for your time. You could have been somewhere else and you chose to be here with us. So without further ado, thank you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye.